Hey, it's Todd Duncan. I thought what I would do is on this brief, maybe 7 to 10 minute video, talk to you who are considering coming to the High Trust Sales Academy, but for whatever reason have not pulled the trigger yet on your registration. The reason why I want to do this is because I think some of the questions that are being asked are really great questions that deserve an answer, and I've decided that I'm going to answer these questions for you. So I've got a piece of paper in front of me. So we're getting asked this question by a lot of people. How is the Academy different from Sales Mastery? Well, Sales Mastery, think of it as your annual tune-up. Think about it as being the thing you do at the end of the year to just get bathed in these best practices, these ideas, this smorgasbord of best practices of sales and marketing and relationships and service. And think of Sales Mastery that way. You can pick and choose from the smorgasbord, right, of best practices. What the Academy is a specific playbook, 350 pages of strategy. And we go through the 14 laws of high trust selling, and I lead you through 4 days of how to execute this playbook in your business. We talk about life mastery, we talk about time mastery, business mastery, relationship mastery, and client mastery. And by the time we have finished these 4 days and this 350-page playbook, you will know how to make more money in less time with less stress than you have ever imagined in your life. What also makes it different is, unlike Sales Mastery, which gives you the ideas and then trusts that you'll go implement them, is that the High Trust Sales Academy puts you on a 12-week follow-up plan. 12 weeks of accountability, 12 weeks of online interactivity as a tool to give you more boost around the ideas that you're implementing. And also, those 12 weeks involve best practices, sharing what has happened with the group, who's winning, what are the obstacles, where are the victories, what's happening. And in actuality then, the Academy is a single ticket investment, but it's a 4-month learning experience. Here's another question we hear: even though I've attended the Academy, will I learn enough if I come back to make it worth my time and effort? And the answer is yes, and here's why. When people come to the Academy, they come and in their first experience, they are overwhelmed. Overwhelmed. It's not uncommon for people to walk away with 30 or 40 ideas that they want to implement in their business. So when you come the first time, you hear all these ideas, and then it's about starting to get those implemented. When you think about coming back a second time, 2 things happen. You are at a different stage of your business, which means the messaging speaks to you in a different way, and therefore then gives you tools you didn't hear the first time through that now you hear the second time through because you're ready. Your business is at a stage where now you're ready to hear that idea and implement it. Some of the most successful originators in America, I believe the number one guy I know that I coach has been through the Academy 8 times. Not because he needed it 8 times, but as he grew his business, he came back each time with one of his newly hired teammates that he has built a team underneath him now to close over 400 loans a year. So the Academy is probably, for most people, a 3-time experience. And maybe that's over a period of 3 to 5 years. So definitely come back. You're going to learn enough to make it worth your time, energy, and money. And you'll be at a different place. You'll hear different things. And as a result of that, you're going to go to a different level. Here's another question that we get asked. My pipeline is full. We're in the spring buying season. I don't think I can afford to take the time to get away. I'm going to say I don't think you can afford to not take the time to get away. Because what we know about great buying seasons is that they come and go. And what we know about great businesses is that they have a continuity to them, that no matter what the market is doing, pipelines are full. So while it might feel like it might be disadvantageous for you to get away and spend 4 days while your pipeline is full, actually it could be the best decision of your life because it'll keep your pipeline full forever. It doesn't matter whether it's spring, fall, winter, or summer, you will have a fully functioning pipeline. And so by all means, just because things feel good right now, just because the volume is building a little bit right now, just because rates came down a little bit right now, also is a reminder that rates are going to go up a little bit at some point from now. The market is going to slow down. at some point from now. Business might get a little bit harder at some point from now. So the time to prepare for your best you and the time to prepare for your best future is today. One of the questions we get asked a lot about the High Trust Sales Academy is, will I get my money's worth? And I can tell you right now that if you implement, not only will you get your money's worth, but you will make more money than you ever dreamed possible. And I want you to be thinking about what that really, really means, right? Will I get my money's worth? I can teach you everything I know about making a lot of money, but you will only make the money if you do the things that I teach you. But you can't do the things that I teach you if you're not in the experience, in this case, where I am teaching them, right? So you will make your money. And the other thing I want you to be thinking about is, what's your investment mindset, right? It takes spending money to make money. It takes investing in you to learn the skills that give you more revenue. It takes changing your time, thinking a little bit about whether or not you actually are getting the revenue you should be getting right now anyway. And if you're not, then you most certainly will get your money's worth. It also, I think at this point, forces another question. How many loans will you need to close to fully pay for the investment? I'm talking about the ticket, the airfare, and the hotel. You know what the answer is? One. For most originators in America, closing one more loan pays for everything. Now, you're going to close way more than one more loan. What we know is after about 90 days of implementing, we see lift somewhere between 1.7 and 4.8 more fundings a month. That's pretty exceptional. You're going to get your money's worth. It is going to pay off, and you are going to look back and say, I'm glad I made the decision. Here's another question we get. My pipeline is so empty, will leaving the office for 4 days put me out of business? First of all, that is a scarcity mindset, all right? And the one thing I'm going to tell you is that might be the reason why your pipeline is empty, because you're thinking from a scarcity standpoint. Now, I say that lovingly. I say that as your coach and as your friend, because there's a reason your pipeline is empty. It could be that the market is slow. Okay, and it doesn't matter. If the market is slow, the market is slow. And in any market, you need to decide, what do I do in that market to win? When I started in the loan business, the market was really slow. I had to answer a question. How do I make a slow market really good for me? And so whether you're in a slow market, a fast market, a rising market rate-wise, a falling market rate-wise, it doesn't matter. If your pipeline's empty, it's empty for a reason. And I guess I would pose the question, would you like your pipeline to be full all the time? Would you like to, no matter what's happening in the business, have a full pipeline? And if the answer is yes, you can't afford not to be there for 4 days, okay? Your pipeline being empty and you staying home for 4 days and 4 days later having an empty pipeline is not smart. You should come, spend time with us at the Academy, go back and implement a couple ideas and have a pipeline that will be full forever. That's the mindset of abundance, right? And here's the promise I'll make to you. I believe your pipeline will never be empty ever again. Ever. Ever. If you come to the High Trust Sales Academy. And that's a promise I want to make to you. So trust me on that. And at the end, if you don't feel that the Academy is worth your time, energy, and money, we have a policy. We guarantee your happiness. And if you don't like it, you don't pay for it. That's how simple this decision is.